So we're going to start off with some official business and then jump right into hearing lots about the great things that are happening in the school and the community. And I would like to give a warm welcome. If we could have the next slide, excellent. A warm welcome to our new board member, Mike Chen, who is doing amazing tech work right now. Deserves a big round of applause. He's from Cisco Systems and he joined the board earlier this year. And we're so thankful to have him. And I want to officially announce that our new vice president is Gwen Pajasic, who joined the board last year. But I'm very excited to have her in this role. And of course, yes, as well. Shout out to Gwen, who's online. Excellent. And I wanted to give a very special thank you to outgoing board members, Tom Mail, who's here with us today, and Mary Beth Kirsch, who's not able to join us, but both have been with us from even before the official beginning of the Friends in 2014. So lots and lots of thank yous for both of them. Excellent. And if we go to the next slide, earlier this week, the board voted to re-elect the officers of the board for one more year. And so I just wanted to take a moment to thank Gwen and David and Kate for all of their work and service, and really looking forward to working with you all for another year. This is like the best part, right? Many of you are in this year, and those of you online are represented in here. And I'm just really excited to share this. We have 45 members on our advisory council, which I just think is wonderful. And so thank you to each and every one of you for all that you do. We're also in the process of inviting new members to join. We're always looking for new suggestions and new ideas. So we hope to just keep adding names to this wonderful list. And if we could go to the next slide. Oh, sorry, go back, I lied. I don't have a slide for this one. Sorry, David. So now I just wanted to talk to you guys about the scholarship program, which we started, and it's really very close to my heart. You may remember in our newsletters, if you've read about it in other communication, that the Friends established the Waltham Family School Scholarship Fund last year in honor of Britta McNamar's retirement. Thank you, Britta, for joining us. And the goal of the fund is to support Waltham Family School alumni as they continue their educational journey, even after they graduate from the Waltham Family School. And the scholarship is intended for both former preschool students and also their parents. And just because we know there are very few scholarships out there that are available to adults, we really want to make sure that our parents can have the opportunity to continue their learning just as much as high school graduates do. And so on a very personal note, as the first member of my family to attend college and the recipient of many Waltham community financial stipends, I can attest about how important it is to have the support of the community, both financial and just as a reminder that there are people out there, really wanting the best for you. So this is just very important to me, and I'm very excited to have just a small part in making all of these scholarships happen for our graduates, and we are just so proud of them. In July, we awarded the first 5 scholarships to Waltham High School graduates, and all 5 are now attending college in their first semester. Very proud of them. And tonight, we have a very special piece of the program for you. So right now, I am really proud to introduce you to Leslie Garcia. Leslie, would you come up, please? So Leslie, thank you, has graduated from the Waltham Family School just this past summer and has been busy ever since. She's been taking classes and is in her practicum now to become a dental hygienist. And we're going to hear from her, and let's all please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you for opportunity in this school. Thank you for scholarship. Thank you for everything. I'm so excited now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brita. I don't know. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep, sorry. I was trying to fix the mic. It's my great pleasure and honor to present. We have it. If you, David, present this check to Leslie to assist with her tuition payments for her classes. Thank you. You deserve it. Thank you so much. Yes, of course. Thank you. Congratulations.
I'd like to add something about Leslie. She came here over the summer and was feeling very overwhelmed, really with, taking the classes. And she said the teacher had approached her at one point and said, sorry, I forgot about that. The teacher had approached her and said that perhaps her English wasn't at that level where she could finish this program. But Leslie didn't give up. Leslie said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stay up all night. I'm going to study as much as I can. And her teacher now really is so proud of her and uses Leslie as an example to everyone else of really what determination and what perseverance looks like. And I see her today and I said to her, I'm so proud of her because I said, you did it. You did it. So I wanted to share that story about that.
At this time, we're going to turn it over to David King to give the Friends Treasury report. Thank you.
Just hold it. So I learned a lot.
At this time, we're going to turn it over to David King to give the Friends Treasury report. Thank you.
Just hold it. So I learned a long time ago that there was a reason I wore a tie. I learned a long time ago that nobody wants to listen to a financial report. The board kind of has to listen to them, but I'm not going to read you a financial report. But I wanted to talk about our finances because it all donated grant money, some great supporters, and we've done well. We got our IRS tax exemption in 2014 when we were founded. We were kind of around before that with Partnership for Youth, but we've been doing well ever since. This year, we upped our assets mainly because of the wonderful $100,000 donation to create the scholarship fund. But we have a couple of problems. We have some really nice reserve funds that are paying for our ESL teachers, paying for our Chromebook program with the parents, and paying for the social worker we have. And those are restricted funds that were donated to us by some of our great donors, and they're running down and they're going to run out. The Chromebook fund's probably going to run out at the end of this year. The scholarship fund, the social worker fund is going to run out probably in 2 years. So we need to work on finding wonderful people out there who would like to get involved and help us with those 3 particular big programs that we have. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I'm just here to give you an update, and I wanted to start with a big picture question that we often ask ourselves. And today's version of the question is, after 20 years in business, with all the changes that have been going on, what is the need for a family literacy program like the Family School? And the data continue to show that the inequalities persist. And these are just a couple of numbers from a large resource of data from Impact Metro West. And it points out that Waltham residents with less than a high school education. Hispanic Waltham residents, it's 36% compared to, for white Waltham residents, 6%. Big difference. And similar with children in poverty, too many children in poverty. And the difference, though, between one group and another, Hispanic is 25% of the kids are in poverty, white kids, 6%. So, and then of course, a third of the people in Waltham speak another language other than English at home. So clearly there's a lot more for the Waltham Family School to do with all of its partners. So with that, we're going to move to highlights from the past year. And of course, it starts with the transition of our new program coordinator, and who was hired by Superintendent Reagan after a process with including a variety of stakeholders, including the Friends. And the Friends had a transition committee to help Jackie get her bearings and figure out the relationships between the schools and the city and the Friends, and to introduce her to some of the key players with the Friends. And it was a much easier process than we ever could have dreamed of, because Jackie brings amazing qualifications, skills, local connections, creativity, positive energy. So the transition, I think, has come off beautifully, thanks to Jackie. Off to an absolutely fabulous start. So the next big news was the scholarship fund, which you know about, and you met Leslie, who's the first alumna recipient. And here's a photo of the first cohort. Oh gosh, one of them's hidden, but there we go. The first cohort of recipients, high schoolers that have gone on to college. And thanks, can I thank the person who did the $100,000 donation? Thank you, John Cloninger, for continued support of the family school and for this incredible donation to the scholarship fund. You're always finding creative ways to support the place. Really appreciate it. Next, we have news about the Chromebook fund project. So this was the first full year that they had that as part of the curriculum. And of course, it was used for a million different ways and continues to be. And it helps the students further their English and digital literacy, which are both key. So that long may it continue, and I will have to work on that. So next is, thank you. Simply Business is a company that has an annual global trek, and they raise money for people who need it. And they have raised almost $19,000 for us. And the next screen shows you these intrepid and generous people who are going trekking next month in Iceland. As the big capstone, I guess, to it. We're very grateful to them for this amazing fundraising project. So those are some highlights from the past. This is future. We're celebrating the 20th birthday of the Waltham Family School in 2023. So we want you to save the date, March 16th, 2023. We're going to have a big fiesta, birthday fiesta. And if you're looking for a fun way to make a difference to the family school, one possibility is to join the Fiesta Committee. We have a good time. And we're going to start meeting early November. If you're interested, just let the Friends know. There's an email address there. But it should be a lot of fun. We're always looking for new people. Okay, we're also going to be doing strategic planning. We've got off to a good start with that. We want to make sure that we're keeping up with Jackie's vision and with the Waltham Public Schools, making sure we're in sync with all of that. And Gwen's going to tell us a little bit more about that later, I think. The last point I have is that we're going to increase our staff, the Friends of the Waltham Family School staff. In order to support Jackie's vision, we're going to have to grow, and we don't have the brains and the time that we need to do all this. So we're going to add to it. We tried looking into cloning Anne, which would have been the ideal situation. It wasn't possible. So we're going to hire a part-time bookkeeper and a part-time marketing and communications coordinator to work with the board and with Anne to help us keep going and getting stronger. And Oh, you can see the ad on idealist.org for the Marketing and Communications Director, if you're curious. And that's all I had for the update. So now it's up to Sarah. Is that right?
Hello, my name is Sara Exam. I am from Guatemala. I live here in United States for 8 years. I have two children. Their names are Sylvin Alvarado and Dariana Alvarado. Sylvin is 7 years old. His birthday is tomorrow. Yeah. And my daughter is 3 years old. Sylvin studies at dual language school in first grade, and Dariana attends a Head Start. I come to Waltham Family School because I want to learn English to help my son at school, with the doctor, and at the hospital. But my biggest dream is to be a teacher. I started to student in October 2019 to March 2020 because COVID-19 started. In 2020 and 21, I studied online all year with a tutor. During this year, I have my best memory here because this program and my tutor, I don't know, she's here, but and they helped me to study for my citizenship, and I got it. And thank you. And another memory, when I like my English and receive support from programs to help my children, and the best when they gave me my Chromebook, and I learned to make email, answer email, use Google Doc, type in internet information, and in March 22nd, I had to leave my English class and I looked for a job. Waltham Family School was there supporting me and find a job that also gave me time to take and pick up my children from school. They took me to the best place, the Waltham Public School cafeteria. I thought is mm, it was the best because in the future I want to continue my studies and work with children. During the summer, I don't work because I had to be with my children because they don't have a school. I was checking the Waltham Public School website and I found the Waltham Family School. We're looking for a teacher assistant, and I thought it is my opportunity. I can start here to have experience and later to be a teacher. I fill out the application. I had an interview. A week later, they told me the position is mine. I don't know, believe it, but there is Waltham Family School continue to believe in me and support me in my biggest dream, one day to be a teacher. There is this great program help, helping and supporting many more women who want to make their dreams come true, like just like me, because there are many more women outside and they want to learn English and they come to this country with many dreams, but sometimes we don't have the support like a husband or one family, and it's very difficult for us. But this program has the support and family and teach us to be women dreamers. They welcome us with open arms. No, no matter what country we are from, and they are make us part of this family, this great family, with all the support they give us. I am proud of myself in Waltham Family School because they helped me and give me give me a courage to learn English, and now I can go to the doctor and at the hospital and many other places, and I'm not afraid when I need to speak English. And thank you to each of who donated and support this program. Thank you for all your support for me and for all the women who.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Reagan. I'm the superintendent of schools for Waltham Public Schools. I never leave the Waltham Family School without being completely and utterly inspired. Tonight, that's thanks to Sarah and Leslie, who share their incredible stories. And how can you not leave without just, I mean, it's, my God, it's just very moving to hear how this program impacted your lives, and um, all the more reason to thank you to those of you that are here tonight, those of you that are online, those of you that have donated. Thank the friends, thanks to the staff members. It's really just a tremendous program, and when you hear the personal stories, it's so clear. So tonight I'm here just to talk a little bit about the Waltham Public Schools in general, just to get a sense of sort of where I think we are, because I consider the Waltham Family School part of the overall Waltham Public Schools family. I know some people think of it as sort of a cousin. I think maybe a brother or a sister. We're trying to make that connection as tight as we can every year. I always hope to be able to talk about where we are now in terms of the pandemic behind us, but I learned that you can't quite say that yet. So I think it as sort of continuing to emerge from the pandemic. And at the beginning of this year in August, when I talked to our staff at convocation, which is the first day our staff comes together, we get together in person for the first time in 3 years in the Kennedy um, field house. We had about 1,000 chairs in there. It was quite exciting to have us all together. And I did a quick sort of recap of what it's been like to be in public education over the past 3 years, and try to assign sort of a word to each of those years. And we all remember how it went. We know that 1920 was an interrupted year. And I think of that year as resilience. We had to dig deep, we had to build our resilience, and we had to make sure that even though we didn't know what we were doing, that we were taking care of our families and our students, that even if they weren't learning as they were prior to going out suddenly in March, that they were safe, that they were warm, that they were fed. So many of these things became critically important. The next year, we came back and had hoped that it was going to be normal. We don't know what that is anymore, I think, but and that was sort of our recovery year. We're gonna turn the corner, and we know what happened in 2021. It wasn't quite the same. We had most of our students learning from home still, and others in hybrid mode, and it just wasn't quite there. But our educators worked hard to support our families and make sure that our students were again learning, they were safe, they were warm, they were fed. The following year, 21-22, was supposed to be back to what we were used to. And I think we all came in with such high expectations, and that made the crash into reality even harder. And I think that ultimately that's what made last year, I think, the hardest of the previous two that we had experienced. Because everyone said this is going to be like it was before. Yes, we're still wearing masks, but we're not distanced, and everybody's back in the school, and and we know that COVID was still there, and the variants reared their ugly head, and it really made that year really challenging. So we applied the word normalcy to that year, which was a mistake, I think, ultimately at the end. So I thought about this year and trying not to dig too deep for a word, and I thought about the word hope. Let's stop sort of dwelling on the past. We know where we are. We know where we need to go. And we have to recognize we've been through something traumatic together. But I told the staff we need to be hopeful about what this year will bring. I think we got used to thinking of a school year as very cyclical. You start in September, you set your goals, you go through ups and downs, and at the end of the year, you celebrate milestones that you met along the way. And what I realize is that we've been in this sort of what they call a learning pit for like 3 years. Usually you go in and out of the pit as part of the learning process, and we've just been stuck down there for so long because we've been trying to figure it out as we go along. And that takes a toll on everybody. So I think this year, at least now that we're 6 or 7 weeks into the school year, probably only 8 weeks into the school year, I feel like we came out of the pit and we've done a good job at hanging on to the edge and not falling back down, other than the normal ins and outs that you should have as learners. But I think, if anything, it taught us about resiliency and the growth mindset. So I feel good about where we have started this year. I'm in buildings all the time, and I see kids engaging with their peers and their teachers again. Teachers have good spirits around their work again. They feel good about being there, and that's been lost for a couple of years, not just in Waltham, across the country. So it feels really good to be back. The other piece I wanted to just touch base on is our strategic planning, which I will say Jackie is a member of our team on the district level that's working on a new strategic plan. Again, COVID got in the way. We were supposed to have the plan in place by June of last year, but we had to push that off a little bit. So now, to make sure we did it right, and then we got enough feedback from everybody, we decided we would push the process into the fall and winter of this year, so that we would have a good, solid plan for the following year. Mike's on the committee as well. Mike Chen, we thank them for that. So we have our next meeting on Friday. So last year we had several meetings as a team. We also did several focus groups and surveys just to get feedback on some of the emerging themes that were coming out. And where we've landed was with 3 what we're calling pillars for success. So we're going to move forward in developing now strategic initiatives under these. One is connected community, the other is student success, and the last is learning environments. So connected community for us, according to our team, is the work of improving student learning opportunities both in and out of school by engaging families and community organizations as partners. The draft plan also defines student success as ensuring that all students and families have a sense of belonging, purpose, and connection to school. And again, think of these as sort of the broad umbrellas, and now we have to fill in the blanks underneath. What are we going to do to actualize those? And last, we have learning environments, which is about strengthening where kids learn and the culture of where kids learn, so that it values all of them and fosters their growth and development. So we've got some more work to do to sort of fill in those pieces, but I like the 3 pillars right now. I think are very solid to hold up our work going forward. There is overlap, and that's okay. We'll make those overlaps actually work in our favor as we go forward. So keep in tune. We'll have more information on that, I think, in the months to come. And then I'll close by just sort of one of our biggest projects in the city. If you live in Waltham and you ever drive up Lexington Street and you're not caught in traffic, I promise you the traffic now is nothing to do with the new high school. There are other things going on Lexington Street. But we have a brand new state-of-the-art high school that is set to open in the fall of 2024. It is on time. It is currently on budget, which is amazing given the COVID situation. But we have an incredible team of architects, project managers, and construction company Consigli. They have just been outstanding. The project is about $389 million. Up until recently, David and I were talking before the meeting, we had the distinction of being the most expensive high school project in the state. And I thank the Lowell Public Schools for taking that distinction away recently with their project. So we're no longer wearing that crown, which is quite okay with me. But to point out just one of the things that's exciting about that new program, a new school, not only is it state of the art, but we will have 14 state-approved vocational education programs in that building when it opens. We have 10 now, so we don't want to forget that. The current high school has 10 programs, but we're adding 4 more. We're adding cosmetology, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigeration. We're adding environmental science and technology, and we're adding programming and web design to the 10 that we have. And what's cool about some of those is it also opens up some more access to the public. So cosmetology will have a working salon. People can make appointments and come up, and kids can actually have the experience of working with actual live customers. The culinary arts program, which isn't a new program, but it will expand to have a restaurant where people can make a reservation, come up and have lunch, and kids will be able to learn not only the back of the house, but they can learn the operations of a restaurant in the front of the house, which is important skills as well. And then lastly, we'll have a live preschool there. So there'll be 2 preschool classrooms in the new building. And then our early education and care program can work with those kids directly as in a sort of a lab setting. And that, I say, could potentially be an opportunity for Waltham Family School expansion as well, right? So there are 2 preschool classrooms up there. You know, could there be a partnership there? I'm not in a position to say anything officially, but it's something that we need to, I think, explore more. So it could provide an opportunity. You do a wonderful job with the space that you have, but we know that you beautify it, but it is the bottom. We'll call it the ground floor. It's a garden level suite. So, and when you're in those preschool classrooms, you don't notice that, of course, because they are beautifully done and welcoming for kids. But so that's just a few things that I wanted to share with you from the perspective of the Waltham Public Schools. I will close the way I began with a thank you to all of you that support this wonderful program. I talk to superintendents all the time, and there are programs that are sort of like this, but nothing that's quite like it. So you are unique in that, and I think that's something special. And I'm really glad anytime I get an opportunity to come and participate in any activity or engage with kids or the you know, the parents that are part of the program. So thank you all for having me, and I'll yield my time now.
Of our school system, I can tell you, I have a child in elementary school and a child in middle school, and this year back in person has made all the difference in their lives. I could go on and on and on about how meaningful it is for them to have social interaction with their teachers, with their peers, to feel the support that's happening. And I know all of that is coming from a well-run district. So thank you very much for that. And at this point, it's my honor to welcome and introduce Jackie Herrera, the Waltham Family School Program Coordinator. Many of you have met her at the annual meeting last year when she had just been starting the role. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with how smooth the transition has been. She jumped right in, continued to build on many great community partnerships. She's already introduced the Opening Doors curriculum to the Waltham Family School. And she herself is always finding ways to open doors to the program, to families, to the staff, to everyone. So she is here to give you an update on her first complete year at the Waltham Family School. So Jackie, thank you.
Make sure does that have to be up or? So good evening, buenas tardes, boa tarde. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Time is precious and valuable, so thank you for sharing some of it with us this evening. The pandemic and other current events have made me more aware and sensitive to the value of time and how our lives can change so quickly and dramatically in as short a time as a few seconds. I don't mean to begin my thoughts on a negative tone, but I have been extra sensitive to this lately. Perhaps because some of the most impactful and life-changing current events affect many of our Waltham Family School families. Despite these challenging events, they continue to smile, have a positive attitude, and come to school daily. On a more personal note, many of you have heard me speak of my grandmother quite often. And last year at this meeting, I shared a picture of her during her last birthday. This year, her birthday is accompanied by the beginning stages of memory loss. And this has been very difficult for me to accept and process. Time brings change and sometimes sadness, but it also brings healing and peace. And for that, I'm grateful. It has been 16 months since I joined the Waltham Family School. I'm extremely lucky to wake up every morning feeling happy and eager to come to work every day. In many ways, I don't see what I do as work. I see it as an opportunity to interact and engage families, learn from them, and together create an inclusive and safe environment where they can learn and share their talents and wisdom with each other and with their community. I hope that as I share some of the events that have transpired this past year, you will also feel the positive energy and happiness that I feel daily at Waltham Family School. I begin by sharing with you that we have new amazing staff at Waltham Family School this year. Change is inevitable, and when seen through a positive lens, can bring new ideas and vision. So this year, we added 3 new members to our Waltham Family School team. So I would like to introduce you to Jane Anson, who's actually here this evening. Our ESOL 2 teacher. She comes to us with lots of experience working with immigrant families. Her smile is contagious and her warm and caring personality is evident in all she does. Glenda Fernandez and Sara Ixam, Sara who's here, are our 2 new preschool assistants. They are both Waltham Family School alumni who love working with children and bring a wealth of knowledge and wisdom to the preschool. They both live in Waltham and are very engaged in their school and communities and are an amazing support for Waltham Family School families. We are very lucky to have Jane, Glenda, and Sarah. If you are all seeing and reading our wonderful, I hope you are all seeing and reading our quarterly newsletters where we share in more detail the many wonderful things families are accomplishing here at school and in the community. Thank you to the Friends of the Waltham Family School for creating the newsletter and working hard to make sure it highlights the hard work and accomplishments of families and Waltham Family School staff. Last year, we introduced the Opening Doors curriculum, and it was very well received by all families. Many of our adult learners reported increased participation in schools, increased time reading to their children, and healthier eating habits as a result of their participation. In addition to these and other positive results, one of the most important changes that has been the opportunity for 3 of the parents to become leaders by becoming Opening Doors facilitators. This means they will be facilitating the curriculum themselves for other parents in the community. Thanks to the Waltham Public Schools, we were able to secure funding to pay for their training and for them to facilitate several cohorts in the next 2 years. As a matter of fact, the very first session of the first cohort sponsored by Waltham Public Schools will begin this Monday, Halloween Day, and is for families with children who attend the dual language school. It has been very exciting to see these women coming here the last few weeks to prepare for their first time being facilitators. I am filled with excitement every time I see them in action and ready to share their knowledge and talents with other parents and the school community. Just to let you know how great and talented these women are, one of them just informed me yesterday that while preparing for Opening Doors, that she was elected as Employee of the Month at her work, where she has only been working for 3 months. She was so happy and I was so proud of her. This year, we are already on session 3 of Opening Doors with our new Waltham Family School families. Some of the adult learners are already sharing why they like the program and how they're finding it helpful. While picking up her child at our preschool, one of the mothers was discussing her child's language development with the teacher and told her that she had just learned in the Opening Doors class ways to help her child continue to develop his language and vocabulary. For the first time last year, we had an early childhood mental health clinician/social worker. Having Laura here at Waltham Family School this past year provided us with the critical social emotional support and guidance that was needed by both families and staff. Laura was able to provide one-on-one support to families, preschool observation and feedback for preschool staff and parents, and ongoing support for our staff. Her presence is crucial to the day-to-day operations here at Waltham Family School. Almost every morning, someone is asking, where's Laura? Where's Laura? She's not here yet. It's not 8:30 yet. As you may already know, immigrant families face many challenges and traumatic experiences that are an unfortunate part of the immigrant experience. At Waltham Family School, in addition to providing an academic learning environment, we also prioritize every family's social emotional development and ensure that every family knows that they will never be left feeling alone and without a safe place to find refuge and comfort. Mentioning the immigrant experience with you, another priority that guided our work this past year and continues to do so today. Our preschool staff continues to emphasize their goal of creating an inclusive and diverse learning environment for the children, from the decorations on the walls to the signs in various languages in the classrooms. More diverse children's books have been introduced, and children are able to communicate in both English and their native languages. Each family has also been working on their own collage, which will include family pictures, family traditions, and anything else each family wants to add to their board. Each family will also draw a picture that will be included. Each child will also draw a picture that will be included. All of these posters will be hanging inside the preschool where the children will be able to see them daily. For the families who are not in our preschool, their posters will be hanging throughout the school where all families and visitors can see them when they visit our school. These activities and changes are taking place with the hope that all children leave Waltham Family School knowing that who they are matters and that their native traditions and languages are just as important as English and the new traditions they will learn as they grow up in the United States. Their multilingualism, traditions, and cultural celebrations are welcome and celebrated, all while they are also learning about new and different traditions that are custom to the country they now call home. As some of you already know, this coming March, we will celebrate the 20th birthday of the Waltham Family School. We will celebrate 20 years of wonderful memories, only surpassed by the love shared that led to the creation of solid, strong, and special relationships with over 450 families. These 450 plus immigrant families all found a second family. For some, their only family in a place called the Waltham Family School. Some of them still come by and say hello or keep in touch via phone calls and messages. Others have moved on to greener pastures in pursuit of their dreams. We at Waltham Family School remain in the same place, continuing to advocate for all immigrant families and for our vision of providing them access to a high quality educational experience and environment and a safe space where they can learn, lead, and share their talents and wisdom with each other and communities. We will never give up on them or their children, and we will continue to serve as mediators between them and the many systems that have not yet seen the immense talent and wealth of knowledge that each family brings to our community. 20 years is just the beginning. Thanks to Britta, the most dedicated program coordinator I have known, for getting Waltham Family School to this point. We are grateful for every one of you here this evening who have played a role in the success of the Waltham Family School and invite you to continue by our side. We now look to the future with hope and much anticipation to a future when not a single child will ever begin kindergarten without having a preschool experience and where parents are ready to shine and be future leaders in their communities. Thank you. Oh, microphone.
virtually. Take it away, Gwen.
Thank you. It is my honor to be here tonight on behalf of the Friends Board to talk to you a little bit about our strategic planning process that we are kicking off this year. When you think of the meaning of the word strategic, it means that we're identifying our long-term or overall aims and interests. I might insert the word dreams there, and also determining the means of achieving them. And I think that's a really, really important component. Earlier this year, the board started this process by doing some visioning work, and we're still working on fine-tuning that. But there were some words that were shared, and I think we heard Dr. Reagan talk about this. We heard Jackie talk about this, and here are some of the words that we started to think about. As we think about the experience of the families and the children in the Waltham Family School and our work: transformative, belonging, empowered, growth, supportive, inclusive, enabling, access, awareness, and advocacy. That's a pretty inspiring list of words. So we're pretty excited to get this process going. The importance of this process is so that we can address all of the visions of the Waltham Family School in partnership with the Waltham Public Schools. Our goal is to provide a financial and fundraising roadmap to support all the dreams of the Waltham Family School and to provide access to as many families as we can in the Waltham community. So we're starting with the vision work, and then we'll move on to our strategic priorities and develop our fundraising and financial plan. But one key of strategic planning is constituent feedback throughout all points of the process. So we are going to be working with several different groups as we move through the year. Our alumni, our current families, our current staff, the advisory council, the board, Waltham Public Schools, community partners, and donors. And we want to make sure that the Friends of the Waltham Family School strategic plan is in conjunction and coordination with the vision of the Waltham Family School and the Waltham Public School strategic plan. So put your strategic planning hat on right now. We're going to do a quick little exercise. And what we'd like you to do is put in the chat a word to answer this question. What inspires you to support the Waltham Family School? So take a minute and put that into the chat. Okay, we'll give it one more minute. Get those words in. Feel free to put them in the chat. Okay. I'd like to say thank you for participating in your very first strategic planning exercise. I think you can see the words here, and these will help inspire our vision. And I would like to just say I love the fact that someone put Jackie on there, because I feel like she is our inspiration. And we're very, very lucky to have her at the helm. So our goal here is to develop the strategic plan over this year and begin to implement it for the next 5 years. So we hope to be coming back to you at certain points to get your feedback, to ask for your thoughts. And if anyone would be interested in joining our strategic planning task force, we'd love for you to reach out to the Friends of the Waltham Family School email. And feel free to send along any questions or any thoughts at any point. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Gwen. And now I think I can introduce the Q&A part. So I know that we have our wonderful technicians who are fielding the chat for those of you joining us virtually, and we have those of you in person. I think a simple hand raise.
When she used to work in the school system. And dreams come and are a reality. And I will be pleased to meet the superintendent, because this is what I envision, a superintendent that was committed. And to see, because the continuation of programs like this will only happen when it is support of the authorities. And I don't want to forget the mayor, because the mayor was instrumental in the financing and the putting together this program. So thank you to the volunteers. I was talking to Kate, who was kind enough to drive me, is that it's so powerful when the cultures come together and you know each other as human beings, and you help to develop the human side and the beauty of being, in a community and in a society where there is no race discrimination, but you feel part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabriela, for sharing that with us. I think it's really important to hear those stories and to remember where the family school started. And in 2002, Breaking Barriers planted a seed in my brain for what might be able to come. And I stand with so proud of all that's happened. And I couldn't be more thankful for you.
Really. Jackie. Jackie, you are the continuation.
Thank you. And it's been a long road, as many of you know, right, with ups and downs. And it was a fully federal funded program when it started, and now we're a partnership with the Friends and the Waltham Public Schools. And we've been lucky that we've been able to pivot and stay on and maneuver, and many other programs haven't had that same fate. And I think it's important to remember that there have been people who have been dedicated to this for decades. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. And I'd love to open up to any other questions. Do we have any from the chat? Not yet? Okay. Do we have any others in the room? Ask me after the meeting. But I guess for now, I would just want to say thank you. I really can't thank you enough for joining us. We appreciate all of you tuning in from home or wherever you're watching us. I really hope you are inspired by the great work that keeps happening here at the family school, and listening to Sarah and Leslie share their wonderful stories. I'm very impressed with all that they have achieved and all that all of the families have achieved through the Waltham Family School. And as you've heard tonight, and as you know, there are many needs in our society in general and within our community in Waltham. And one of the needs that Waltham still has is access to high quality preschool. And we're excited that there could be opportunities in the future for more preschool seats in the school system. And as you heard from Jackie, there's already a wait list from families who wish to enroll in the family school and don't have the chance to yet get their education and English school skills enhanced to be able to help their children get ready for kindergarten. So I'm really thankful for the many supporters that we have. We couldn't do it without any of you. And I would just like to ask everyone who's on the call, if anything you heard tonight moved you, please continue to join us in thinking about supporting parents and children learning together. We have a link that we're going to share in the chat where you can continue to make donations online. You're welcome to mail a check. Anyone can reach out to Anne, our development director, with any questions. And I really hope we'll see you at the 20th birthday in March. And so keep an eye out for the annual appeal. We'll be sending that out with Sarah's story. I think that it's important to share that letter with someone you might think would be interested in the Waltham Family School. And just to sort of wrap up, I'd love to say thank you to the board, all of you, many of you here tonight, many of you online. It's wonderful to serve with you. It brings me such joy to work with each and every one of you and to know how committed we are to this and how supported you make me feel in this role. I can't thank you enough.